guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Gifty and Martin. Oh my god, today is going to be another very interesting reaction. Before that, if you're new to my channel, my name is Gifty. I'm from Nigeria State, Germany. In my channel, I do a lot of reaction videos, family vlog, vlog. We're reacting to a short history of slavery by Candace Owens. This is actually my first time to listen to her, though I have listened to slavery history. I'm gonna just listen to this Owens, so get more knowledge and more information about the history of slavery. So without wasting more time, let's start.
And now for a brief history of slavery. Here's the first thing you need to know.
Okay.
Slavery was not invented by white people.
Really?
It did not start in 1619 when the first slaves came to Jamestown. It existed.
Wait, I need to hear the first set again. I just need to hear it again.
And now for a brief history of slavery. Here's the first thing you need to know. Slavery was not invented by white people.
Wow.
It did not start in 1619 when the first slaves came to Jamestown. It existed before then. It did not start in 1492 when Columbus discovered the New World. In fact, when the intrepid explorer landed in the Bahamas, the native Taino tribe hoped that he would help them defeat their aggressive neighbors, the Caribs. The Caribs enslaved the Taino and, on occasion, served them for dinner. Slavery existed in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. The word slave actually comes from the Slavs of Eastern Europe. Millions of them, all white by the way, were captured and enslaved by Muslims in the 9th century and later by the Ottoman Turks. Slavery existed when the Roman Empire controlled the Mediterranean and most of Europe from the 1st through the 5th centuries. Slavery existed when Alexander the Great conquered Persia in the 4th century BC. It was so common that Aristotle simply considered it natural. The slave master model was just how the world operated in the great philosopher's day. Slavery existed during the time of the ancient Egyptians 5,000 years ago.
5,000 years ago. Hello? 5,000 years ago, the slavery have been existing. You know, I am not surprised of what she's saying, because even we, Africa, the slavery is even still going on as I speak. You know, when you travel back to your hometown and you be scared to move around, you can't even move to anywhere. Like in a place where I used to stay in Africa, when you travel by the road, get to a point, all the passengers will be so scared because there are kidnappers hanging on that particular highway just to hijack a full bus. You know what I mean? It's so annoying and pissed hearing about this short history of slavery. Yeah, I have heard about that from my mother, used to explain to us what it means. And I watched some movies of slave trade. It's really so bad. Just like they have Black Friday. What does Black Friday mean? I think it's something had to do with slavery. For the short book I read, the Black Friday, they have to have a particular market where they sell black people. And sometimes I don't like the Black Friday, because when I remember the history, it got me pissed off. Why it's called Black Friday? I don't know if I'm correct. Ooh, okay.
As we can go in human history, we find slavery. As renowned historian John Steele Gordon notes from time immemorial, slaves were a major item of commerce. As much as a third of the population of the ancient world was enslaved. Here's the second thing you need to know.
Okay.
White people were the first to formally put an end to slavery.
Wow.
In 1833, Britain was the first country in the history of the world to pass a slavery abolition.
White people are the first people to put an end to a slavery. Here I am a bit confused. I'm confused. If they are the first to put end to a slavery, How come they still come to the black people to buy women for slavery? It's confusing me here at the moment. I need to understand. Okay.
They were quickly followed by France, who in 1848 abolished slavery in her many colonies. Then, of course, came the 13th Amendment in the United States Constitution. After centuries of human slavery, white men led the world in putting an end to the abhorrent practice. That includes the 300,000 Union soldiers, overwhelmingly white, who died during the Civil War.
Oh.
Now, am I saying that this makes white people better than anyone else? Of course not. My purpose here is to simply tell the truth, and the truth is that human history is complicated. No one, regardless of skin color, stands guiltless. Yet today we are never told to consider the murderous Persian Empire or the cannibalism of indigenous tribes of North and South America or the heinous actions under the imperialistic Muslim, Chinese, Mongol, or Japanese empires, to name just a few. Instead, we're told that slavery is a white phenomenon. And like all persistent lies, this lie spawns a bunch of other lies. On social media, I come across extraordinary depictions about how Africans lived like pharaohs before Europeans came and laid waste to their paradise. I wish any of this were true, but it's not. It's a fantasy. The truth is that Africans were sold into slavery by other black Africans, and in many cases, sold for items as trivial as gin and mirrors.
This is
Whites
just
didn't
the
go
truth.
into the interior.
Hold on 1 second. Particular one she just said now is just the truth. Africa sold the fellow Africa. How can you sold the fellow Africa just because of mirror, spoon, food? Basically, those days, Africans are known to eat food with their fingers. But because the white people came, offered them a spoon, offered them a mirror, and they were surprised to see all those. And for that, they collect it and they sell their fellow black. That is bad. Like, I don't understand. Why is that we black, meaning we don't even want reasonable things for ourselves? That you can sell someone because of a spoon, because of mirror, because of food, because of palm wine. Hello? Oh dear Lord, this is really very informative, educative, and eye-opener, telling me more what I need to know.
They waited on the coast for their black partners to bring them black bodies. The stark reality is that our lives had very little value to our ancestors.
Oh dear Lord.
Here's the third thing you need to know. If you think slavery is a relic of the past, you're wrong. There are some 700,000 slaves in Africa today, right now. That's the lowest estimate that I could find. Other sources say there are many more. For context, that's almost twice as many slaves as were ever brought to the United States. Child soldiers, human trafficking, forced labor, these are the conditions that currently exist within the same sub-Saharan region where the transatlantic slave trade originated. African bodies are being sold today like they were sold then. And no, they are not being purchased by any country of white men.
Oh my God.
In fact, slavery, by any traditional definition, is exclusively practiced today within non-white countries. But we hear almost nothing about that. Just like we hear nothing about how slavery was universal until good people in Europe and America ended it 2 centuries ago. Why? Because our so-called leaders, black and white, wouldn't profit from it. Black victimhood is nothing if not
because
profitable.
Our so-called
It
leader
allows
are benefiting
politicians
from
and
it.
funds racial grievance groups. And if black Americans began to view themselves as partners in the American dream, if we embraced the patriotic spirit that holds all men are created equal, the patriotic spirit that is our real heritage, then the race hustlers would soon be out of business. And who wants that? I'm Candace Owens, author of Blackout for Prager University.
I'm so angry. I'm so pissed off. Knowing fully well that Our fellow black are the ones selling our fellow black out for slavery. Like, I don't know. This is really so complicated. How can they be doing that to each other? How? It's not, doesn't, it's not right. I mean, it's not right to sell each other for piece of cake, for nothing, for virtually for nothing, just for free. Just what do they enjoy when they sell? This is a very good information. You learn from it, you understand history, you store it in your memory, you tell your children about it. So it's a good thing to listen to. Yeah. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and please do leave a comment below if